34, Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, it's too sweet. Anyway, continuing with retired numbers. Before I get started, now that we're moving into the player portion, we're done all the easy ones, we're done all the executives, now we're moving on to players. I at least want to make it known, I want to at least attempt to do one of these a week. If I could do 2 a week, great, but one for sure. That's the attempt, because there is so many, and the team I'm focusing on today has a lot of numbers retired. Today though, we're focusing on the number 6 hanging up in Toronto, Ace Bailey. Now, Ace Bailey's career in Toronto began on November the 3rd, 1926, when he signed as a free agent with the then Toronto St. Patrick's, who we now know today as the Toronto Maple Leafs. In his first year, he didn't do too bad. 42 games played, 28 points. 15 of those were goals. So right off the bat, he's got a good prowess for scoring the goals, getting the assists, but also taking the penalty minutes when he had to. In his first season, he had a career high in penalty minutes with 82. So, playmaker, absolutely. The grit player, definitely. It wasn't until his third season in Toronto where he actually started to make his name known, when he led the league in scoring in 44 games, scoring 22 goals, adding 10 assists for 32 points. And you look at it by today's standards, 32 isn't really a lot. I mean, there's lots of 30-point player guys, but this is only a 44-game schedule. And there was, 7, 8 teams? Maybe? This was before the actual original 6, so there wasn't a lot of teams to play against, so you get the points when you can get them, right? The year after that, he led the team in scoring with 43 points. Again, 22 goals, 21 assists. The year after that, he was 1 point shy of being the team leader again. After the 29-30 season, though, his productivity started going down. He only managed to score 13 points in 41 games. But he still managed to be the cup clinch scorer for the 1932 Stanley Cup champs. So not a bad thing to have on your resume. 32-33 saw a bounce back, but not by much. Only 5 more points, so 18 points that season. But it was his final season that made the headlines for Ace Bailey. It's December 12th, 1933. Toronto's playing the Bruins, and they've already been assessed 2 penalties. So they're only playing with 3 guys on the ice against a Bruins team that had Eddie Shore. If you don't know who Eddie Shore is, if you don't know the reputation of Eddie Shore, pause this video, look into it, you'll understand. Anyway, the Leafs were playing Ace Bailey, Red Horner, and King Clancy against the Bruins line. And during the sequence, King Clancy hit Eddie Shore hard enough for him to start seething, to start seeing red. Shore, not knowing if it was Clancy he was going after or if it was Horner he was going after, decided he was going to go after Bailey instead. And hit Bailey so hard from the side, it sent Bailey flying through the air, and his head hit the ice so hard that you could hear the thud. Obviously his head hit the ice, and he lapsed into convulsions. So right there, okay, yeah, major concussion by today's standards. Furious with this, Red Horner, sticking up for his teammate, asked Shore, "What are you doing?" Where Shore only smiled, and in response, Horner knocked out Shore with 1 cold punch. So the tough guy can't take it. Of course, both men would regain consciousness. Shore, was able to get up and walk. Bailey regained consciousness briefly before passing out again, and had to be rushed to the hospital, where it was determined he had a fractured skull and had neurosurgeons going through the night trying to save his life. And he slipped into a coma twice. But after 10 days, he came out of the coma and was well enough to be transferred back to Toronto, to nurse it and whatever else. The NHL was to the point where they were ready to charge Shore with manslaughter if Bailey died. Thankfully, he didn't. Everything was all good. But Shore was handed the long suspension at the time, which was 16 games. I know that seems like modesty by today's standards. I mean, a lot of guys have been handed a lot longer suspensions for almost the same kind of thing. Take Bertuzzi, for example. But he survived, but his playing career was over. This, of course, led to the 1934 Ace Bailey benefit game, which a lot of people confuse as the precursor to the All-Star game. No. It has nothing to do with the All-Star game other than they had an All-Star lineup representing the NHL, which did have Eddie Shore on it. Money was raised at this game to help support Bailey and his family post-career. And the money raised at the time was $20,909, which in 2019 dollars is just over $400,000. So not bad. The most tense moment of this whole game was when there was a handshake, or at least an attempt to a handshake, between Bailey and Eddie Shore, and both men shook hands to the applause of everybody in attendance. Because who would have thought it'd be that quick to be one and done, and you could forgive a guy for something like that. But in Bailey's own words, it's all part of the game. The most important part of this game, which took place on February 14th, 1934, was Bailey became the first man in professional sports history, as well as NHL history, to have his number retired. And that was made at the decision of Leafs owner Conn Smythe, probably in respect to the man who gave his career for the Maple Leafs. And just to kind of show him, hey, we're not going to forget you. Anything like that. But classy move by the Leafs, I'll give them that. So in the 8 seasons Ace Bailey played in Toronto, he played 313 games, 111 goals, 82 assists for 193 points, with 472 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, Bailey played 21 games, scoring 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points, with 12 penalty minutes. Post-career, he did actually work for the Maple Leafs as a timekeeper from 1938 to 1984, after which Harold Ballard, being Harold Ballard, told him his services were no longer required. But in between this time, he was also inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1975. So, well deserved for a guy who could have potentially been a bona fide superstar had he played a little longer than 8 years. But such is the game of the NHL, right? Right. Short and sweet, but that was episode 34 of Trev's Hockey Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. Your viewership always means so much to me. It always has, always will. I do appreciate every time you guys tune in to watch. It hits me right there. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. But let me know what you guys think. If you think I'm doing okay with these retired numbers, let me hear it. If you think I should stop, let me know. I don't know if that will make me stop. I might just do more, but either way, if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. If you want to help this channel get to 50 subs, that'd be awesome. There's that little red subscribe button. Smack that thing. You stay up to date with all the content I'm putting out. If you want to, you can find Trev's Trade page on Facebook. You can also find the parent channel on Facebook at Trev's TV. You can find Trev on Instagram at RockstarTrevTV. Moving forward, again, I'd like to do at least one of these a week, so if this is the last video I make until the next one, here's an early spoiler. It's a Bruin. It's the only spoiler I'm going to give you. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.